Everyone, it's Nicole, and I'm here with another layout that I got done at the crop back in October of 2022, where I brought 60 page kits with me, a lofty goal. I ended up making 26 of them. Not bad. This is layout 13 out of 26, and this one actually took me 22 minutes, so super fast layout. And I attribute that to there was a bit of um, scraps in this page kit, and it always makes it so that I put the page together a whole lot faster. So this is a one page or a one picture layout, and it's a 4x4 picture. And when we were traveling, we were trying to, every time we got to a border, we would try to stop and kind of take a picture in front of their province sign. Now the very first one we couldn't do, which was Quebec, because they ended up changing the highway where where the sign was, and where the sign used to be on the right side of the road. Now it was in the middle. But anyway, this was Ontario. It wasn't our first province, it was the second province, but we just couldn't take a picture of the first one. So this one is just going to be, it's just going to say, Welcome to Ontario. Now, the plaid pattern paper, that was my scrap. And I based the whole layout because I wanted to use that scrap. Now, the pattern paper that was behind it, I kind of just took a strip and cut it down to about 3 inches, and then probably by, I don't know, 8 or 9 inches. And that's going to be my second layer. Then I ended up taking a piece of the grid paper, that's some of our grid paper from our digital files, and I just cut a piece, 4 inches by 2 or 3 inches, and I'm going to stick it on the side of the photo. And would you look at that? It's a perfect framing. Like, I just like the border all the way around the photo and the grid paper. And, a lot of times when I do matting around the photo, it's kind of like thinner matting. But whenever I have a piece of paper like this that's just cut down to a certain size and I try to use it, I always find that I end up, putting it together in a way that I really, really like. And I apologize that the layout is kind of like sort of on the bottom of the frame, but you got to remember, I'm at a crop. I have a tripod up there, and I have it, kind of finagling. I have to have a basket underneath my tripod holding it down because it's top heavy and it wants to fall, because once I add my camera, I tried to put some washi tape to kind of define where my layout needed to be on the table. That worked for a bit, and then the washi tape kept falling, but at least you can see most of the layout. And that's pretty much the base of the layout. I just end up putting that little square there on top of the grid paper. I thought at first I was going to use just a grid paper, but then when I looked in my kit and I saw that little 3x3 card, I'm like, that is adorable. And I really like putting it on top of that grid paper. And then the grid paper is kind of, I don't know, a top and the bottom to that little piece of pattern paper. So ends up working out great. Once I have the base of the layout done, then I start, looking at the embellishments that I put with this page kit. Now, I had a pattern paper that you could cut apart, like had cut aparts on it. So I end up cutting apart, Let Me Tell You a Story. And then I'm going to put that right on top of that layered piece there. And then I already have my title put on some wax paper, which I absolutely love, that my titles and my journaling was done for every single layout. So even now, I have 34 page kits that I came home with. I have the pictures in there, I have the journaling, and I have the title for every single one of them. So whenever I feel like making a layout, I don't have to think, oh, I got to put some pattern papers together. I got to pull some embellishments. It's just all done for me. I just grab a page kit and I start making a page. So even though, you're not going to a crop, making page kits can be advantageous whether you're going out to crop or just scrapbooking in your scrap room. Okay, so I, you know, use some of the viewfinders that I had in my page kits, and I put a embellishment cluster at the top left of the page. I ended up using a viewfinder, a 1.5 inch circle. There was a little banner on a sticker sheet with a flower, and then I'm going to use some of our butterflies. Now, I always like to put, or a lot of times, I like to put an embellishment cluster with my journaling block. So that's why I'm doing one there. So I always pick one spot on the layout and say, okay, I'm going to start here and do an embellishment cluster. Now from there, I make a line and say, okay, where else can I put an embellishment cluster? Most of the time, or a lot of the time, I will normally start where my journaling block is. Now, I didn't this time, but I bet you in my head I knew, because I do it so much, I knew that there was going to be an embellishment cluster there. So automatically I went to the top left of the page. Then once those two are down and kind of settled, then I kind of look and say, okay, where could I put that third embellishment cluster? Now I have to tell you, sometimes whether, if I stamp on the layout or if I do some kind of background, I look at that as my third embellishment cluster, and I just do two because the page is so busy. So while I'm just finishing off doing the embellishments, I'm adding some wood buttons. I just want to let you know that this weekend I'm going to have a brand new class drop. It is called Favorite Moments of 2023. It was actually a free class that I did for the gold members over on Patreon. And it was supposed to be, a medium-sized class. And all of a sudden it was like 12 videos, 7 hours, 12 double page spread. So I decided to put it up for sale. So that's going to be dropping this weekend. And you're also going to get a PDF that's going to have 12 double page sketches for each page. And you're going to have a layout for every month of 2023. So from January to December. So that's it. That's going to complete this layout. And just want to take a minute and just thank my patrons for supporting me over on Patreon. And I hope that everyone is having a fabulous weekend. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.